What's the deal, family? Welcome back to another SOS podcast. I am Cameron, and this is my beautiful wife, Erin.
What's up?
What's going on, babe?
Well, this is actually our second take
Man, listen.
because baby girl did not want us to record.
She was having her a time.
Yes, she
and,
was.
And Audia's currently having a time as well.
Come
she
on.
can't make up her mind whether she wants to be on the floor or on this couch with her mom.
You
Okay.
have no personal space.
Say hi, Audie. If you're listening, Audie is here. Oh, here you go.
So that's what's happening.
Yeah, so we technically started, but it was so bad and
it was
choppy.
so choppy. We were like, we need to just start all the way
scrap
over.
it. So it's actually that was like now 2 hours ago.
Yeah, we'll see if River lets us get through this entire episode. I think she's good.
Yeah, she might be out. She hasn't taken a nap today, so. And this is the time she's normally like sleep for the going into the night.
Sleep.
Yeah,
pre-sleep nap.
Yeah.
So anyway, glad we're able to get this in now. What are we sipping on?
We are sipping apple cider mimosas.
More mimosa than apple cider.
Yeah, you know.
Cheers.
In honor of, the end of the fall season, Thanksgiving coming up, we're just doing the last minute
Yeah,
fall
poor
cocktails.
Thanksgiving. Poor Thanksgiving gets a apple cider mimosa. Christmas is gonna get
I got a whole list this week.
all of the cool looking green and red and sparkly and
Thanksgiving don't have all the colors.
Look at this Thanksgiving cocktail.
Hey. Cheers to Thanksgiving.
Poor Thanksgiving. Cheers.
You got a this or that?
It's good though. Okay, this or that. It's a little more fashion forward.
Okay.
Chinos or jeans?
Chinos.
Okay, why?
I'm comfortable in chinos no matter where I go. It can be church. It can be brunch, dinner. Yeah, it can be anything. Like I feel like I feel good in chinos because it's kind of like you're not overdressed and you're not underdressed. So I'm cool with chinos no matter where I go.
Yeah, I was saying that I just literally had never heard of chinos until I met you. Like probably well into us knowing each other.
Yeah, I always
just
wore them though.
I know, but I never knew that was what they were called. I thought they were called slacks.
Yeah, but the slacks are my dress pants. Those are slacks.
Yeah, but I never knew that. And then I was like, well, aren't they just khakis, chinos?
But haven't you heard your dad say like slacks?
No, my dad, he has said slacks, but that's what I thought chinos were. He has never in his life said chinos.
But he doesn't wear chinos though.
Yeah, he's never been like, oh, let me go put on my chinos.
I also think chinos is more like
new.
This era's,
yeah.
Or well, not this era, but like our era's like dressing for a lot of men.
I mean, I like it.
Yeah.
I like the chino swag. It's cute.
Yeah. I'm cool. Like, I'm not a big guy, so, the chinos, they fit right. They taper to the ankle. I could throw on some loafers, sometimes some gym shoes, and I'm good.
Yeah.
Like the flat line shoes, like nothing bulky. Like, I'm not really a bulky type of person.
I mean, I feel like you've had your fair share of phases in terms of, like, getting into certain like different looks. Definitely during the pandemic.
When COVID happened, I was just like, whatever. I'm about to get all the jeans, all the sweats. Mostly
and we
sweats.
Literally gained so much weight and
God.
didn't realize it. Well, mostly Cameron did.
Yeah,
I didn't really gain any weight actually.
I gained 2 inches in my waist. I've never gained in my waist ever in my life.
Yeah.
No,
we were in sweats so long that once we started putting on regular clothes, we were like, oh, shoot.
I don't know what we were doing. I tried to put on like a suit, and I was like, Aaron, I can't fit my pants.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, this ain't it. Yes, I was pissed.
But yeah, I would prefer jeans. Obviously, like, girls don't really wear chinos, so I guess I could compare it to dress pants. But it's really hard for me to wear jeans now because of leggings. So leggings are my go-to. Like my dress down go-to, I should say. Like when I put on jeans and we're just in the house, I feel like I'm doing something. Like I really feel like I'm dressed.
Yeah, no.
I mean, not dressed like, I ain't saying I'm just like the most fashion forward right now. But me putting on jeans
I
feels like I'm getting more dressed than I typically would.
Yeah, it's no way. Like leggings, yeah, there would be no way No.
Yeah. So I guess my comparison would be jeans or leggings, and I would hands down pick leggings just for the convenience and the comfort. But I will not wear leggings just as a fashionable outfit. No.
Yeah, that's kind of like lazy outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
But it's
athleisure.
just like when I put on sweats, it's like I'm cleaning up or going to the gym. Like I
Yeah.
don't care. I really don't
I
care.
mean, we have some nicer sweats though.
There's still I don't care. It's not. I'm not really. I don't think I need. I feel like I need some like sweats. I'm like, oh, this makes me feel as good as maybe like when I don't know, in chinos. But I feel like kind of how you grow up, you're kind of told just like with a whole bunch of stuff, like you need to wear this and this to this type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that I'll ever go to certain things in sweats. Like
Yeah.
that's just
No.
not in my makeup. So
No.
yeah, that's just kind of how I see it. But
Yeah. Okay.
we just had a whole conversation.
Well, let us know what
about
you guys think.
whole
Jeans
conversation
or
about
chinos or
jeans
leggings. Okay, so what are we talking about today?
So recently, as you guys know, we talked about a little bit of like our family page and stuff last time, but
Which is going
yeah,
crazy.
it's doing pretty good.
Yes, one of our posts that we're going to talk about today has like 80 something thousand likes.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
Insane.
But the post is basically a picture of each year since we've known each other. So since 2011 up until now,
Mm-hmm.
basically like the beginning and this is not the ending, but the beginning and up to date. Like we, basically caught up everybody up to date. It's kind of like get to know us type of thing.
Yeah.
Because we kind of started this page late, I guess.
Yeah.
So we did kind of a get to know us, and in there, a lot of people were like very interested to know. So what's the real tea, as you guys like to say? Aaron stopped talking to me like twice. The first time was nothing. The second time, I low key thought she was for real, but
I was for
I'm
real.
a bit irresistible.
I never understood Cameron's logic. Like, he just didn't make any sense back then. And it's funny because a couple of people were like, I could never like get back with someone that I broke up with, and I'm like, we never broke up.
We never broke up. We were never dating.
Yeah, we just weren't dating yet. We just stopped communicating with each
Yeah.
other. But we were always like good friends who liked each other or had like an attraction, but we didn't get together. And that is why I stopped talking to him. I'm like, what is going on? Like, and that's what the girls guessed. The girlies, they be knowing. Like, they were like, he must didn't commit. So, and I'm like, precisely, that's exactly what happened. But I think for me, it was just like, what is missing? Like, that's what I always thought. And that's why even like my family was just like, why do you like this boy so much? Because he is just, it just always felt like you were dangling this carrot in front of me. And it's like, oh, I like you. We're so cool. Like, we're
We were
great friends and all of this
We
stuff.
were.
We were. But then it was just like, and then he would go get another girlfriend. And I'm like, what are you doing?
We were just interrupted by a doorbell. We don't understand the whole door to door
That's so,
whatever
like,
they're doing.
old school.
It's like, don't come to my door. I'm not answering.
Yeah, my
Like,
anxiety just goes through the roof when the doorbell rings and we're not expecting something.
yeah, like I don't want you
I'm
coming
like,
to my house and I
who
don't
is
expect you.
that?
Like if you're not the mail person or something getting delivered,
Even the mail people, stop ringing the doorbell in the middle of the day.
even them, yeah.
Just leave the
unless I know that you're bringing something that
leave
needs
the
to-
mail. If it don't need a signature, do not ring the
Yeah, don't-
doorbell.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Um,
Anyway,
but yeah, that was something.
okay. So where did we leave off?
I don't even know. I'm tired of the distractions.
I know.
And our audio is
On edge.
on edge because someone was at the door. But
Yeah, I was just gonna say. So Cameron, he kept getting girlfriends.
Don't say girl. Like Aaron act like I was just out here just.
He just wouldn't commit. And
I had
that
one
irritated
girlfriend.
me. I know, but that just two. But that just irritated me. That it was just like we were so tight, and then I'm like, what is it? What am I missing? What? Why can't we be together? And so I was like, you know what? I can't do this. I'm gonna just stop talking to him because, like, at a certain point, I'm like, yes, I enjoy us being friends, but we both know that we like each other, and like, yes, we're friends, but also like also don't want to keep feeling led on, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what he was doing. And he'd be talking about me saying, I always knew the perfect time to swing back around. But you also
You
knew how to keep me like
keep you
almost
around.
manipulated
No, I
me.
was not
Yes, you
manipulating.
were manipulative because you knew how to do just enough to keep me like in
But
your.
that's not me manipulating you. That's me being myself, just not giving you what you want from the, I guess.
No, you knew how to give me just enough to keep me satisfied enough to just keep me kind of
Swing back
lingering
around.
around. Yeah.
That's
So,
the thing is with Erin, like she always knew when to slide in. Like I could be I would be like the girl that I was talking to, right? Didn't last long. The first time, the first go around. Second go around lasted a few years. But when we first started, like when I first started talking to the girl, it lasted like maybe it was like January and ended February 1st or something like that. I don't know the actual date, but just say January to February 1st. January 1st to February 1st for I think it was really like 3 weeks. But anyway, that's not the point. Point is, Erin literally always knew. It's kind of like she can smell it in the air. It's like, oh yeah, my boy, he back. I don't know what it is. I was in Miami with some guys, like some of the dudes I'm cool with, their birthdays or whatever. Um, and I don't know how Erin can smell it, but she texts me like, "Oh hey, we talked the whole weekend. We're back. Like we never left.
yeah.
Like, and it wasn't even. It's not. It was never even like no real like couple type of talk. We
Yeah.
would just be talking. We just enjoy
Yeah. Our conversation.
our conversations with one another. So
Mm-hmm.
there was that, and then the first time you stopped talking to me was your sophomore year of college.
I thought that was the first time that we were talking about.
Yeah, I'm still on that.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was saying like getting to that
Oh, okay.
because you talked. We were still cool and talking every day when you were a freshman in college.
Yeah.
And your friends in college were some
Yeah,
at
they
the
weren't
time
big fans.
bad influences. You say big fans, I say bad influences.
Whatever.
But yeah, she wasn't talking because she was talking to somebody, which I didn't even know.
Yeah.
And back then, like I like apparently, I think you said you had posted before, and you was like, "Oh, I thought you knew." I was like,
Mhm.
I was not on social media like that. I was kind of like still that. All right, we're kind of like in that weird age group. Like I didn't
Yeah.
really care about it at the time. Like I wasn't on there enough to have ever seen it.
Mhm.
But my mom and my sister knew. They ain't say nothing though. Like they ain't care.
Right.
Um, but anyway, we go. My sister, this her senior year.
Yeah. Or
No,
junior
it's like
or
her
senior
junior year, I
year.
think, because that was like 2013.
Yeah, and I was
Oh,
I
maybe
was a
it's the
sophomore,
beginning of
so it
her
was her
senior
senior
year,
year.
because
Yeah.
it was going to So, um, we take her down to Howard, and apparently they've been talking. They reached out to her, I guess, or whatever,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Oh yeah, you know Aaron has a boyfriend." I'm like, "Nah, I didn't know," but like I'm like, "Okay, cool." Like I ain't talked to her anyway, so it's like I don't know. I guess she could have told me maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know, bro. We get down to Howard. I think is it the first day?
I don't know how long y'all had been there.
I don't know if it was the first day or the next day. It had to be the next day because if we drove, yeah, it's probably the next day. Anyway, Aaron meets up with us at the bookstore.
No.
Was it
I
the
was at the bookstore. They called and were like, "Oh, where are you?" And y'all came and picked me up from the bookstore to go get something to eat.
I guess that's what happened. I'm still clueless by this time. Like I have no idea what we're doing. We get to the bookstore and I'm like, oh
I hopped in the car.
yeah. Aaron knows what she be doing. Like
What?
she always
They
had an
wanted
agenda.
me to take y'all to a
No,
restaurant.
if no, listen. If Aaron didn't want to have anything to do with me, she would have been like, nah, like we don't talk. Simple. Like she would have not gotten in the car. She would have not been talking to my mom or my sister. My mom is crazy work.
First of all, everyone's moms love me.
Aaron,
I am I am an ideal candidate. All moms love me. I'm so sorry that your mom just likes me. Or she did at the time. Now she loves me. But You know.
No, you knew exactly what you were doing, and you had a man. Like, why would you coming to eat with me and my family?
Yeah, I didn't tell him that.
Who? I know you ain't tell my man that. Like, I know for a fact you ain't tell him that. She all meeting up with a dude she like and his whole family. Me and my entire dad, mom, and sister. We go out to eat. She trying to have small talk. I'm not with it.
Yeah, he wasn't very friendly that day. But I didn't care. I was like,
Because she
whatever.
had an agenda.
Babe, here's the thing.
And literally not even too long after that, because I think we might have texted or something like that when I got back home briefly or whatever. And not too long after that, here she come back on like, oh yeah, I ain't together with my man no more.
Right. Because we had broke up, so I was like, whatever.
And we always kind of end up like talking like, oh, so you got to do, like once I was like, I guess not caught off guard anymore type of thing. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what's up. But then when I asked finally, they weren't even together. So that was the whole thing. Then the conversation had nothing to do with him anymore. It was just back to good old
but
us.
then at that point, he then had a girlfriend.
So I was getting back together with the girl
that he talked to for like a month.
Yeah, like,
So we were basically always kind of missing each other in terms of like to have the opportunity to get together. Like we were both kind of in relationships on and off during a certain period of time to where we weren't able to
basically the first
together.
4 years of us knowing each other, I was doing my thing, basically.
Yeah.
Erin really wasn't doing her thing. I was kind of forcing her to do her thing, I guess, because it's just like I gave her no other option.
Yeah. So then when he was back with her, I studied abroad. And I was like...
But she was so mad that she was...
I didn't even invite him to my going away party.
Was it Josh's something?
Birthday party?
Yeah. I was supposed to come to that. And I just didn't...
I think it was his maybe...
I think I just didn't go. Because I'm like, I don't...
birthday or something.
Yeah, she wasn't feeling me, and I knew she wasn't. But she is like, everybody, like her family, we're all cool. So I should have gone, but I didn't. And then my little brother's for real, so it's just like I should have gone. And I made up over the years to them. He didn't care, but
no, he didn't.
But we all tight. Anyway, that's the point is I didn't come, and then Aaron was really hot, and after that, like was that the longest we went?
Yeah, because basically I went off to South Africa to study abroad, and then I hit you up when I was there. Yeah, like close to when I was about to come back.
Was it close? Because you went in January, right?
It was about half. Yeah, so when I went away, I didn't tell him about my going away party, and I was gone for like 6 months. But I think I hit you up in like maybe...
March.
Okay, March.
Yeah.
So that was about halfway through the trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was missing you, boy. For sure. She was missing me. I mean, I get it.
Babe, be quiet.
I get it for sure.
I think I just missed, it was just such a big life experience. And I was just like, I want to be able to like share this with him. Because we had, at this point, known each other for, I don't know, probably 5 years at this point.
That was 2015?
Yeah, so like
that was 4 years. The end of our like 4 year dating saga.
Yes, the whole rocky 4 years of
what even rocky
being friends, liking each other, having boyfriends, girlfriends, this, that, and the third. Went to prom, took me, was liking somebody else. Y'all, your boy
went to. I'd have been to all her parents' anniversaries, birthday parties. I've been in the family for so long.
He's literally seen every car I've had. Like, it's just like, you know.
She's kind of like,
we were.
You're
kids.
Here anyway. Why not?
We were literally kids, but I was like, okay, I had a lot of time to reflect. I'll say that.
That is what I want to know. I want to know, seriously, I don't even think I've ever asked, like, what, I know what you said in the email, and maybe you can talk about a little bit about the email. I
genuinely don't fully remember what I said.
I remember.
Oh, my gosh. But I sent an email, and this was after we hadn't talked since probably October or so the year before. And we're in March, and I'm just like, something's missing, like I just kind of felt like we were so cool all these years and then things just kind of vanished. And I do think that was the longest that we hadn't gone with communicating.
That was the longest for sure.
So I'm doing all this cool stuff in Cape Town, and like it's just such a huge experience. And I'm like, I would really like to talk to Cam, like, and just at least tell him like what's going on. And then I also was thinking about my part in the whole situation, and like the fact that it wasn't only you as to why we weren't talking. I mean, it was mostly you, but like, but also like I'm that type of person where it's just like I also think of what could I have done to maybe make things better, or how did I maybe contribute to us being in this predicament,
Right.
And so I don't remember everything I said, but I do remember that I kind of took accountability for having attitudes at certain points or reacting in ways that made things worse, or made you feel some type of way or whatever. Like, I know that that was like a big thing for me that I realized when I was away. And one thing that I knew was that I didn't really want to be in a relationship with somebody that, for one, I wasn't friends with, but for two, where I felt like we couldn't have these types of conversations. Like, I wanted you to know that, like, I knew where you were coming from, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, obviously I wanted to be together when I sent the email. Like, it wasn't like it wasn't like I was just like, okay, I'm going to send him this and we're going to just get together. But I did, I guess, want to see if anything came of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least we can pick up our friendship. And if that went over well, then we could see where things went. And
Yeah.
that was the biggest thing for me, was like, I just want us to at least be friends first again. And then, hopefully things snowball
You got
into
some hope in there, huh?
more than friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah, for sure.
mean, I never wanted to for us to just be friends.
No, I know.
Um so I just don't think, I feel like our emotional connection was too strong for me to be like okay with us just being friends. Like, I feel like if we didn't work out, you could probably be friends with me, but I don't know how I would do with that. Like, I might end up cheating on my husband or something. Wait,
Boy,
I'm
that
just
is
saying.
crazy.
Like, I
No,
just
we
feel
have
like
joked around though about
but I
that.
just feel like we had too much of a emotional connection for us to just be friends.
Yeah, nah,
I'm just being honest.
I feel you. Now we probably both probably would have cheated for sure.
So that's why we just needed
Well,
to be
we
together.
might have not cheated, but we probably would have both been thinking about it.
Yeah, like
I ain't gonna say we would have
what
cheated.
yeah,
The
I won't say
reality is
that.
that was a joke, but
Yes.
like we would have definitely both been thinking about it.
Yeah,
Like,
like
what
what
if?
we always think, like, what would happen if we were both married and like ran into each other at a restaurant or something, and like,
What it would have brought back,
yeah, like,
or
I don't know.
something we've never addressed
Yeah.
or tried out or
Cuz I just
experienced
feel
or
like,
whatever.
I don't know. I just always had this gut feeling that Cameron was like my person. So for you to kind of go through life and in the back of your mind you're kind of just wondering what life could have been like with that person.
Yeah,
I can't personally imagine like marrying anyone else. And
I don't think I would have been married.
really,
No, I've never, from no other girl, whether I've dated or just talked to, actually had the like feeling like, oh yeah, I'm ready for marriage. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but when I was ready, it came in a way that I wouldn't even imagine it would have came. Like the actual thought, like, oh, I'm like ready to get married. You know what I mean? So that was kind of like, from all that we have known about each other, and all that we have kind of like cultivated and grown into, it was kind of like, that was like it kind of confirmed. It was kind of a confirming moment, basically. Yeah.
But what did you think when you read the email?
It was crazy because I was on a couch with the girl I was dating, and it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. I think we had like fell asleep, and I think I actually might have been waking up to take her home. But what I thought was, I'm like, oh shoot, Aaron is in trouble. So like, to me, it don't really got nothing to do with the fact that she's not talking to me. all that didn't even matter in the moment because initially I'm like, yo, if something happened, I was about to call her parents. Like, yo, I think something is wrong, basically. Because how you kind of worded the subject. So I'm like, this girl is like across. She's 80 hours away, and is she in trouble basically? But then I read like the first few sentences, and I was like, okay, I can get back to this in the morning in class. Um, but yeah, that was my initial thought. I thought you were in trouble. But then when I got to class the next morning, I read it and obviously responded, but I was
Yeah, I didn't
definitely
think you were gonna respond, honestly.
my thing is I don't know why Erin she always says like she didn't think I was gonna respond, but I'm like you knew I would. Like I don't know what
I
a
don't
part
know.
of you thought that I wouldn't.
I don't know. I just didn't think you would.
I, I've never not responded to Erin. I mean never not responded to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I responded. I was very appreciative of the accountability part. Um, and now I can say like why I don't think I made the commitment is because I feel like we were never ready for me to make the commitment with you per se. But also you weren't ready. You know what I mean? I think had I did it made the commitment earlier that we wouldn't have worked. Because I still needed to learn a few more little things to kind of uh I guess receive you, you know?
Yeah.
And I think too and don't mean this in any bad way, but like I feel like I was never really challenged completely by those that I was dating, and both great girls, great women now. Like, I just didn't feel like I was challenged. Like, I feel like that's probably what made me not date you. I feel like you were always kind of challenging me without like directly challenging me. Like,
But
you
what does
gave
that
me
mean?
too much to think about. I'm like, man, I'm about to deal with this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 18, 19, 20 years old. Like, I'm trying to be
But
out here
what
do
does
my
that
thing.
mean though?
What challenging?
Yeah.
I think with you being too much like my mom or like my family and what I was used to, I'm like, well, I can't take her and not give her what I know she deserves because that's what she would get. That's what she should get, but I'm not ready to give it to you.
Right.
So the challenge is like I'm not ready to receive you and take on the challenge of basically being this wife essentially. Like I'm not there right now. And you demanded that without us even dating. You know what I mean? So that was the challenge. Like I couldn't commit to that, and knowing that I gotta treat you good. Not that I wasn't treating anybody else good. It's just that sometimes I felt like I was a catch, versus like no, I actually feel like you were the catch. Yeah, but you felt like I was a catch, and so it was kind of like a mutual thing, not just a lopsided. Oh, it's only she's a catcher, only he's a catch. It's kind of like we both had that thing, and I think we had to meet somewhere in the middle to kind of finally experience what we've been, I guess, honestly been wanting for so long.
Yeah.
And we always
That was a
kept
good
coming
way to
back,
put it. Yeah.
That's the best way I can kind of put it. It's just like basically it happened at the perfect time.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it's never the right time," but I think it is, especially when it comes to romantic relationships. I think some people can force things and make it the right time, or say, "Oh, nothing's the right time, so we might as well." No, I don't think that's how that works. It shouldn't work like that.
Time
to me.
is definitely a big factor.
Yeah,
Because, like, anything, like, getting something too soon before you're ready is, you can fumble it. Or
for sure.
waiting too late for a good thing, you can fumble. Like, I know people who still aren't married to the person. Like, they think they were supposed to marry someone, and then they moved on, and then now the other person ain't married. Like, you waited too long. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, so I don't know. I definitely think timing plays a big factor. And if it were up to me, we would have started dating sooner. But I do think that you just don't know. Like, would it have worked out? Would it not have? I personally don't.
I
just
think so.
don't know. Cameron is pretty confident that it wouldn't have. But
I think with me too, what Aaron was saying about like me being manipulative, I was so like easygoing, but like what she means is like I'm sweet, so like I'm not really gonna do nothing to actually mess up. So that would make her think like he's not actually doing nothing wrong, but at the same time, he's not really doing what I want him to.
do. Yeah.
But then she'll see me doing that for
someone
Anybody
else.
else, not
Yeah.
even just like on some dating stuff. I'm just kind of like that kind of person, but also as a young man, been around the way a few times where it's just like, I'm not really trying to commit.
Right.
And I think realistically for a lot of guys, or I would say even a lot of people being a young age, and we might not be able to admit to ourselves is that that when you're dating someone, they're not gonna push you all the way to where you even want to even get to a space where you're not trying to get to yet. It's kind of like, I'm gonna be with this person, I'm gonna kick it with them, but I still can kind of really do
So,
what I want to do type of thing.
yeah.
And that's something most people just won't admit to. Like I had to admit that to myself. I'm like, I'm doing this. Is this because I want to, or like what's the reason behind it? I feel like once I started to put reasons and purposes behind why I was doing something, and started to understand like, okay, what's purpose in life? What is purpose behind everything that you're doing? Then I started to grasp onto why maybe I dated somebody else and not you
Mm-hmm.
immediately. You know what I'm saying? Because you would be like, well, you started dating her like off the jump. We've known each other at this
Right.
point
I'm
3 years. So I
like,
was like, well,
what's it?
I'm like, now I can look back and I'm saying like, well, I just didn't feel like they demanded greatness out of
Mm-hmm.
me. Like I feel like you just demanded greatness.
Yeah.
So
Well, do you think it's a fear thing? Because, like, what if I
nah, I
moved
wasn't
on?
scared.
Like, what if I moved on? Was that just a risk you were
I
willing to
think that was it.
take?
Now that was also a confidence. I knew you wasn't going nowhere. On the flip side of that, like I mean, there was nothing that could basically pry us apart. I mean, we basically would have had to not talk up until we were this age now, and maybe I would have been like, oh shoot, dang, I should have did this. I should have hit her up when we was 21. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't actually miss out on anything. It was never like that long of a period of time for you to actually move on. There was always a moment in time for us to kind of recalibrate,
Right.
or to like just keep tabs on each other. Like, you know what I mean? So I can't really say no, it definitely wasn't fear, but I just know I feel like it wasn't I feel like it wasn't long enough for me to be like, oh shoot, I might have lost her.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm.
You can't
Okay.
swing back around, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, you knew what you was doing all the time. You know how to keep in touch with my mama. You know how to keep in touch with my sister. Like girl, all girls, most girls know what they doing when they actually like a dude. Like
Yeah.
it's like them little small things that make the difference. And that's also part of like, I'm like, bro, she kind of doing all the right things, but I can tell her this to like, nah, you not really good in this area though. It's kind of like you finding a way to kind of
Terrible.
make her think about what she doing.
Terrible. Just terrible. Yeah, I mean, for me, and we talked about this because I feel like on the flip side, it's like, well, why did you like him so much? It's like, why did you want to be with him if he was like not committing? And I feel like for me, it was just I always tell Cameron this, and it's not the only reason I liked him because obviously he's a great guy. He's like very handsome. I was like always like, oh my god, he's so cute. Um,
Yes, sir.
always carried himself well, treated people right, like just a very good person. And I just will never forget when we first started talking and I was under the weather and you were like, why don't you just drink some orange juice and like you had told me to do something. I don't know. I can't remember. You were like, get some Vicks and like put it on your chest and put it on your feet and like put it on and then it was like all this like little holistic stuff you were trying to tell me to do. And I was just like, what? Like, and you were like, I really don't take medicine like that. And I was like, what? Like, it was like little stuff. And then we were in the car and he would like play Luther Vandross or jazz music. And I'm like, what kind of high school kid is this? And he liked to play golf. Like, there were things that I felt like made him different. And also, like, you grew up with a great family. And that's like something that I just value so highly. And so I'm like, I know he's a good person. Like, there's no way he can be a lunatic and come from the family that he has. Like, they're just way too good, way too sweet. Like, every time he would invite me to a family, because
Gathering.
like Cameron came to my side way more than I went to yours because like as a girl, you're getting picked up, or you know, my parents were always big on like getting a feel for the guys we were talking to, and so they would like want you guys to come around. So, but with a boy, it's different. Like he has to want you to come to his family, and like, that was just the
You
dynamic that
gotta
we
earn
had.
mama.
Yeah. So when I did, well, I actually met his mom really early on
Yeah,
because
for
we went to
prom.
prom.
Yeah.
But like when I did start getting invited to his family functions, I'd be so happy because I'm like, oh, they just feel so warm and inviting. And I just could see so much of my family in your family. And so I'm like, there's no way. Like, he comes from good stock. Like, you just don't find this very often. Like, there's, it's so rare,
Hmm.
It's so rare to find people, let alone a guy you actually really like and are attracted to, who has a really good foundation. So that was like, that was
That's
like,
what kept you coming back.
that's what kept me coming back. I was like,
I hear that.
oh my gosh. Um, so, and he was really smart too. Like, you were so good at math and science and all the things. Like, you weren't like a dumb kid. Like, you know how boys are? Like, there are boys who are like athletes and then they are just not smart. And then there are
They
boys
don't. I wouldn't say not smart. They don't apply themselves academically.
that, and some of them just actually aren't smart. Like, try texting a guy who's just not smart. Like, the punctuation is off. There's misspelling. Like, I can't do that. Like, that's very unattractive to me.
Oh
So,
yeah, I don't really do none of the abbreviation stuff.
yeah. And then you were also athletic. So I'm like, I just felt like we were mutually both bringing a lot to the table. And I'm
So it's
like,
kind of like why we not together.
and yeah, and then I'm like, I'm dating other people who are also like cool guys, but
They
I'm
want me.
like, there's still just something missing. Like, it just didn't feel right.
Hey, what can I
So,
say?
oh my gosh. Um,
What can
so
I
yeah, so
say?
that's kind of like my point of view from like, because I know as like a lot of women watch this and they're probably thinking like, girl, why was you so like pressed? You know what I mean? But I personally feel like it's okay as a woman to just know what you want and be strategic in some sense of like of going after it. Like, I still, obviously you still felt like there was some sort of a challenge or a chase,
For
even
sure.
though I was kind of opening up the door. I wasn't like chasing after you.
Nah.
So,
You knew what you're like I said, you knew what you were doing. I would say definitely the craziest chase.
mhm.
Like it was a chase without me chasing per se, but it's like I liked that little the little spat we had in those 4 years, I guess.
Yeah,
Before I grew up,
builds character.
huh?
I said it built character.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, I think when you're talking about or when girls can kind of question like why would you like stay or wait around for that or whatever. It's
Mhm.
not even that you stayed or waited around. You tried other. It's
Yeah.
not to say that you couldn't have met or one of those other dudes could have been. They could have been the guy.
Right.
You never know. That wasn't the case, obviously, but I think there's a difference between accepting what you want versus like I want something, so I'm gonna make whoever I start talking to that person, but you can't. It's kind of like
Mm.
if you've met
Mhm.
that person, I feel like, nah, that's the person. Like I'm pretty confident. Sometimes you can be 100% sure about something or someone. You just got to kind of stick it out and see. It's kind of like with career, jobs,
Yeah.
entrepreneurship, kids. Like you
Yeah.
kind of got to stick your way through it and see like, is this what I'm actually feeling and thinking? And a lot of times it is
Yeah.
if you accept it, but not you trying to make
Them
something
be who
what
you.
you imagine something to be. Like, nah,
Yeah.
that person's actually like that. So I believe that for sure. And
Mhm.
they can only do anything but prove you right or wrong.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and a lot of times because you're trying to make somebody into something, you get proved wrong instead of realizing that you made the decision on something that you wished instead of realizing that that person was never
That's not who
they
they
never
are.
had those characteristics. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's literally exactly right. I just I think that there are certain things that when you're in a relationship, you can encourage or inspire them to strengthen in certain ways or whatever. But like for the most part, people are who they are, you
Yeah,
know?
for sure.
Like there can be some fine tuning. I feel like, there can be fine tuning or people can make really big changes, but when you commit to somebody, you're committing to who they
Who they
currently
are.
are,
Yeah.
you know? So I don't know. And that's why, I mean, I feel like we've talked about this, but that's why we both had things to prove to each other before we committed to marriage. Like when we committed to dating, that was cool.
We had some stuff we still had to
But when we
prove, I
committed,
guess, before we even started dating.
yeah.
Um,
But for marriage, it was like we wanted to see certain things, maybe not necessarily changes, but like certain characteristics
that
or
we know you
things.
have, but
Yeah,
you haven't
you haven't
shown
let them
those.
shine.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we had to do that before we got married.
yeah, for sure.
And neither of us really told each other like this is what I need to see from you before I'm ready to marry
It's
you.
kind of like we've had
It was like
conversations
an
or said it without
internal
saying it.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was like this is in my mind what I'm looking for out of you,
yeah.
and in your mind what you were looking for out of me, and we just both fell
Fell in line.
fell in line.
Yeah,
So
definitely fell in line.
yeah,
Yeah, and
so
I
yeah,
I would say too. Once I grew up though, and this the we can end here, but this is the funny part. Once I grew up, and this is Aaron was back from South Africa. We back on our like we are true. We were never not best friends for real. So like we were back just like we never left. As soon as she sent that email, it was kind of like
yeah.
it's just Cam and Aaron again.
It was
like,
no
type of thing.
weird like transition back into
Yes,
us
and
being
that's kind of
us.
also what made me kind of comfortable. It was the fact that it wasn't like this weird force of like we should be together. It was kind of like, I mean, obviously, like you said, like you had hopes, like maybe we can try something, but you never even made it weird. Like you never forced the issue in any way. Like never even brought it up. Just like I didn't bring up certain things. It kind of like we both allowed things to happen naturally. But by the time this is like around my birthday in 2015, um, yeah, I just had a family reunion and all that. Aaron was pretty mad because I was still with my ex
I
at the
was so
time.
mad.
But me and her were a bit rocky or whatever. Like I was kind of checked out. And my birthday comes around. I got an aunt that's sick. All these different things. But I'm kind of like to a point where I'm not playing no more games in general. So me and Aaron by this time we back cool. Like we hung out a couple of times. Like probably like 2 or 3 times in the month of July or something like that. But the first time we went out, we went to Dave and Buster's. Yeah, we went to Dave and Buster's, and played arcade games like literally like little kids, and
And then we ate.
yeah, we ate dinner, and that was that. It really wasn't even a date. It was really what we
But
did.
one thing that's very weird to me that
What's that?
sticks with me from that is that he got this pasta and he got mushrooms on it. And if you know Cameron, he is so picky. Like not really anymore as much, but
Back
like
then, for sure.
back then he was so picky. And so him getting mushrooms, I'm like, you're eating mushrooms? Like what in the world? And honestly, I feel like it was very symbolic of like the growth that we had over the time that we hadn't been together. Like I felt like from the time we had last started talking to the time that when I got back from South Africa, I'm
Yeah.
like, I feel like you just matured so much. Like I don't I don't know. It was so weird. And you eating mushrooms was like just I
It
don't
felt
know,
grown.
like a visual for me to like see how much you had like I don't know, kind of
Expanded.
changed. Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny because we would meet up sometime, go kick it, but it was like after about the fourth time, them hugs start getting a little tighter, and I'm
I
like,
know.
I can feel her energy. She like on that, so I'm like, nah, I gotta go. Like,
I
and
was
she's
so
like,
mad.
because at this point now we kicking it, and she's probably like, oh, like I'm actually thinking I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we're
get.
like spending time together.
Yeah, but I'm not really on
and
that.
I'm like,
trying
give
to.
me a kiss.
I'm
And
trying
he's
to.
just like, no.
Yeah. I'm
I
trying
didn't
to
say
make sure.
that, but like that's
No,
what I
that's
was.
what she was.
I was
She was
saying
saying
it
that without
without
saying it.
saying
She was saying it with her body.
it.
Them hugs was getting, bro, tighter. And I
And
don't
longer.
you if you got a person, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That hug hit a little different, and I wasn't budging. And boy, when I tell you, when I got in the car, I'm like, whew, stick to your ground, my boy.
I was
But
like, he's way too strong.
yeah, I think I was just to the point where I started to understand, like, you can't, like, I might have not been treating girls bad, but I also wasn't impressed with how I was kind of handling some situations. Like, I think I started to take advantage with how much I was liked in some moments. And even though I wasn't treating them bad, I could have treated them better. So
Yeah.
instead of hopping into another situation with you and having I was just making sure that I had I guess the mindset, or confirming to myself that all right, you checked yourself, like you understand what you need to do,
Yeah.
and all that. And that's why I wasn't giving in. I wanted to make sure from my ex that I'm like, I want to make sure this is clear. I don't want none of that. Like also want to make sure she's fine. Like
Yeah.
I was still would check in on her and stuff like that. And we still we're still cool
checked
enough.
on my exes.
But your situation be I ain't me and her, we ain't even like it really wasn't even a really a me or her thing. I think it was, in her case and in our case, bad timing. Like I would consider that bad timing.
Yeah.
Like she's, to me, like, like she's a good person. So that really, it wasn't the perfect time.
Right.
It just wasn't that. But again, like, because I cared, like I can't stand when people be like, oh, I done dated somebody 2-3 years. Bro, you care about the person to some extent. I don't care what you talking about.
Yeah.
That whole, I don't, like, how you go from caring to just cold turkey not caring.
Right.
So I just wanted to make sure, one, that I was kind of, I guess, actually moved past before I did.
Yeah. And I actually appreciated that, because I'm like, if you're going to commit to me, like, we ain't not about to go back down that road.
Yeah, but I also knew that. Like, I also didn't want to, and I also realized something about myself too. I was like, the truth is, I'm a one-woman man. Like, I keep trying to trick myself thinking, oh yeah, like, I want to date all these girls. I never kept dating a whole bunch of girls. Like, never. Like, I thought I wanted the house because, like, my first house, which I never got, it was really had to do, like, I wouldn't bring girls home or whatever. So I'm like, if I get a crib, then I can do what I can do. But that was never even me.
Yeah.
Which is why I didn't get blessed with a house.
Yeah.
But it's like little stuff like
Where
that.
you got blessed with a house better than what you would have
this a
gotten.
whole different story. But that's
Right.
by the time I was obedient.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're obedient to God's word and stuff like that, when I actually started following that, then that's when the blessings were like rolling
abundant.
in. Yeah, they were abundant. Like, I feel like a lot of times we think, oh, we're praying and we're not receiving, but a lot of times it's your decision making that's not making you receive. It ain't God's fault.
Yeah.
Like, you just not doing your part in it to get what you're looking for. And that was kind of my understanding. It's like, now I'm like, I don't really like clubbing. I was kind of, we transitioned out of college. Like, I feel like we were just growing up. And for me, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to try to do this right. Like, if anything, she deserved it. And, we got to where we got. And
now we're here with a whole child. And a dog.
Right.
And a house.
Yeah. All the things.
Yeah. So.
And in a way that I couldn't have imagined. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's been such a fun ride.
Yeah.
Can't imagine doing life with anyone else.
No.
I mean, honestly.
I really, and I think we've said it before, but we have joked around, like, if we marry other people and we ran into each other, like, the sparks probably would have been stupid.
I don't even know what would happen. I'm not going to say I would cheat.
We would have,
but
probably,
I will say that
cheated.
I would be, like,
yeah,
actually mentally, like,
mentally
messed
that,
up.
and that's
like,
technically, I guess that's
cheating. Just the truth.
But yeah, we would have been both thinking, like, dang.
Yeah.
And don't let, I mean,
especially if we was looking good.
Yeah, if you see somebody out on it, like, y'all on a date, 10 times out of 10, y'all probably looking
at least
good.
For us, yeah.
At least how we normally are, like.
Yeah. So,
I mean.
Oh my gosh, I would be messed up for that whole date. I would be like, sorry, I need to go to the bathroom. Like, what in the world?
And then we would both have went to the bathroom.
I'm just like,
On some movie
what
type stuff.
on earth is happening? But
Yeah.
yeah, anyway,
So it's all
that's a bit
good.
about our story, a little hiccup along the way. But
Long story short, she was missing your boy, sent me an email, and
oh my
you
gosh.
know it was been history since then.
Don't flatter yourself too much.
You flattered me.
Oh my gosh, we need to end this
You
here.
flattered me.
We need to end this here.
I was missed.
Babe, shut up.
She can't deny it. Y'all want to see the email?
No, absolutely not.
I
We will not.
for sure
We will
still got
not
that.
be sharing the email.
I responded right in the back of one of my engineering classes.
Yeah, the very next day, I was very shocked. I was like, wow, he
It was
responded so
nighttime in South
fast.
Africa because it was morning time in class. I think it was about 10 or 11 o'clock when I responded.
Yeah, it was a big time difference. It was like 7-hour time
Something like that.
So.
But yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
well, I
she
hope
missed
you
me.
guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you go follow our family page too. I feel like you probably get a little bit of insight on our day to day and like what we have going on over there. So we'll link it as well as the Sips of Success page as well.
Yeah. So if you rock with me, then you rock with us. We'll see you on the next one. Be easy.